Ever felt like the world's been different since 2020? I have. And where are all the new cemeteries at?
It's a big secret behind Bohemian Grove.
For the anything and everything
And shit.
podcast. Number 4, Justin Blackberry. And number 13, Erik Perks.
Is going on
Bohemian Grove, eh?
Yeah, that's a weird one. So yeah, my friend, once again, my friend Star, she's like, "Hey, check this out. Have you even heard of it?" And I was like, "No, that's kind of definitely a different." She's like, "Yeah, it's about the elites and people. There's kind of,
It's like whatever information we know is like kind of common information, right? Because it's so hidden and
it's
Illuminati type stuff.
It definitely seems like that way. You know, they talk about the owl burning, with sacrificing kids and all that, and
Sacrificing kids,
dude. They say they burn kids in the owl. So I mean, they say they don't do it anymore.
I never heard that part. But that's crazy, man.
Yeah, in the video with the bearded white guy, he's talking about, he had his camcorder hidden, and he said that they don't do it anymore, and that's not
They don't do what?
Burn the children in the owl anymore. So they said that he does believe that they had back in the day, burnt children and sacrificed them, and that's kind of where they're saying some of this occult is going from, is sacrificing people, right? And this is hidden like here in the States.
It's in California or something.
Yeah, by the Russian River, something like that. Yeah,
that's me sneaking inside Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I'm cooked. I gotta run.
An invite-only secret society of American elites who gather in the woods 2 weeks out of every year to decide the future of the world and conduct human sacrifice rituals in front of a 40-foot owl god named Moloch. Or so the rumors say. Many have begun wondering what actually goes down here after famous boxer Ryan Garcia said this.
The babies, guys, babies! They're eating babies, literally! And I'm the crazy one.
So they're in with these bankers and former presidents.
Yes.
And some guy brings over something that it's an effigy that's supposed to be a body.
Yeah.
And then they drop it on the fire. And they're all worshiping an owl god.
But before I sneak into the grove, what do the locals nearby know?
Right in front of me, we got the hoot owl. You guys know what that owl is?
Well, yeah, that's no.
Oh, no? No. Oh, we're just walking around and talking. I thought you saw it. We can walk away, though. We're just trying to learn what's going on with the owl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't know?
The locals were immediately on guard.
You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
I worked there before, yeah.
You worked there? Yes. Whoa, what did you see?
A lot of things that I cannot talk about.
Actually?
Yeah.
Would you give us, theoretically, what might you have seen if someone were to work there?
I cannot talk about that.
Did you sign a document?
Nope, that I cannot talk about.
Did you partake in anything?
Have a wonderful day, sir.
Okay, wow.
Please be careful, okay?
Be careful? Do you think we're dealing with things that are much more powerful than...
Well, I can say.
What did he see?
You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
I used to work there like 10, 15 years ago. Oh, I don't want to be on camera.
Oh,
You know they planned the bombing for Hiroshima and Nagasaki there?
what was that?
Never mind.
Everyone here knew something about the Grove until they saw my little camera.
It's probably not a good place to be going unless you know what you're doing.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of rich, crazy people up there.
You're trying to get in?
My father was in.
Oh, he was in the club?
Yeah.
Who was he?
He's a Mason.
Oh, he was a Mason.
39th.
Did you inherit his will? His Freemason will?
I can't disclose that.
Okay. Is there anything we should know?
Probably not. Probably you don't want to mess with it.
Okay.
No, I'm done here.
All right. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate you. What would happen?
I don't know.
You know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
I know lots about the Bohemian Grove.
Would you like to share?
No.
Is there some darkness to it?
Don't film me. Hit the road.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't really get up there, though.
Can't get in? You seen any crazy things or no?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
I think a lot of naughty goes up there, you know. They just go free and let loose.
But luckily, I found a nearby crystal store with a lady who claimed to have folded George Bush's underwear when they came to town.
Anything about the Bohemian Grove?
Too much.
Too much? What do you know?
I have actually folded laundry for the Bohemian Grove before when I needed to, so all of their laundry is processed through the laundromat.
Oh, interesting.
That is around the corner. So I've folded George Bush's sheets, for heaven's sakes. You will start to see a lot of helicopters flying in directly to the property. Bill Clinton's been there, George Bush has been there. It has been rumored that the next president is always decided there before it occurs, but that is a rumor. I've literally had Grovers, some dude forgot his credit card and handed me his Grove card as collateral. And I'm
Whoa,
like,
Grove ID.
And before the Grove happens, you watch a bunch of limos with high-end hookers come in. They're not allowed to bring women back to the facility, but the boys will stay off campus there. The other things that happen is they hit up all of the locals on where they can get drugs every effing year. There was a gentleman that I was blessed to serve at Main Street's bar for about 6 years. He actually lived on the Grove year-round. You have to be exceptionally rich. You have to be like vetted in through family. And I believe he spent his dying years there. He was actually one of the really nice dudes. He would come into Main Street 3 times a week for dinner and drinks. It matters not what you have in life, it is how you treat others. So he was one of those that treated the janitor and the CEO with the same dignity and respect. But not all Grovers are the same.
The owl is in his leafy temple. Let all within the grove be reverent before him.
While only elite, wealthy, and famous men are invited, combined with the extreme secrecy and security, this is the only real footage captured inside the event by Alex Jones in the year 2000. Some believe a real human was being burned alive during the ceremony, and others believe these guys were just hammered, goofing around, letting loose, and talking business, and that there's nothing demonic or satanic going on here.
You think they're all fornicating with one another?
Would not surprise me.
Yeah.
That's where all the big wigs hang out.
Okay.
That's where they party.
What big wigs are we talking?
Everybody, White House people.
You ever been invited?
No.
Would you go if you were?
I have go. Oh yeah, I would. See, last time was what's his name running for president? Al Gore.
Okay.
He came through with his crowd, you know, black SUVs and all that stuff, and invited him in for a cocktail, but he refused that one. But they were on their way to the Grove at the time.
Do you think y'all fornicate with one another?
Oh, I know they do.
You have proof?
No.
They have some rituals and stuff, and you have to like pay a large fee to be part of them.
All the weird stuff I think happens out at that Bohemian. I really don't know except for just hearing stories, but who knows what goes on out there, man. I don't. I'd rather not know.
Do you think they're engaging in any wizardry or druid craft?
I do. I believe that there's something magical, or, you know, spiritual or something out there. But the Bohemian, man, it's just it's a bunch of mystery. That's what I think. I know some powerful men in the in this world leaders. They go there. I know that much.
You seen anything interesting about the Bohemian Grove since you've been here?
Wow, there's been a lot of political protests and that sort of thing. But I don't really know much about that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It turns out not everyone feels too comfortable with the idea of a group of elites meeting in the secrecy of the woods to decide the fate of the rest of the country.
Workers at Bohemian Grove are suing the elite club for wage theft. In fact, one worker described members as obscenely wealthy with private jets, multi-million-dollar cars, $200,000 watches, homes on the beach in Malibu. They said that they would have to perform tasks that were beyond their job duties, including such as one instance where a billionaire member forgot to bring underwear to the camp and the valets were asked to hand wash it.
I remember when I was a child, my mom used to protest.
Really?
Yeah.
What was she protesting? Them coming here?
White men of privilege living exclusive lifestyles.
Okay.
Not sharing the wealth.
As I walked into a bookstore where the owner assured me he handpicked every book, something about this town felt off.
Like, you can't go to Bohemian.
Sure.
To the Bohemian Club.
I see, okay.
Yeah. Like, there's security and fences.
And they don't stay here.
No, they stay there. It's super interesting. I mean, and you can find a lot of stuff online. There's not a lot of published stuff about it because they're really secret.
We've tried to go onto the grounds and they've told us to leave.
Ooh, you think if we tried to get in, we'd get in?
I'd try.
Yeah?
Yeah, try.
Hey there. Y'all know anything about the Bohemian Grove?
You can't go there.
Can't go there? Okay, you ever see them come through here?
No, not really.
No?
No, these guys are pretty secretive.
All right.
You try to get in there and get caught, bye-bye.
I'm dead?
It's very possible. They got security left and right there.
All right, well, pray for me. See ya. You think they'll let me in?
Nope. You won't even get to the front gate, my friend. Not even a parking lot. They're that strict.
So I headed down towards the nearby river to scout out a potential entryway via water.
Bohemian Grove is all the way over those trees. The current looks fast. We're looking to find an owl out here.
I do know if you go down that road and take a left, if you keep going, there's like a barricade. It's like a weird fence. It almost looks like a bunch of metal wrapped around it and everything. It's really weird.
Creepy?
Kind of creepy. Almost like a Resident Evil kind of vibe.
Ooh. You know anything I should know about it?
Nah, not really, other than it's highly, security is always on patrol with them. We get people coming in for Bohemian and everything, and you can just tell about the cars and all that stuff, so.
Lamborghinis or like SUVs?
A little bit of both.
If you were to see a Grove member, would you be able to recognize one?
Sometimes, like in the summer when they're there, because they have like certain, like they what is it, that all white thing sometimes.
They wear like all white garb?
Yeah, but not always.
That's a little bit spooky.
I know there's a bunch of hookers that fucking stay over here while they're here.
Are they hot?
I mean, yeah, but they charge way too much.
Oh, you've asked their price?
No.
Be honest with me.
I'm thinking the ain't worth the bullshit to begin with.
I don't think half of them know what they're doing around with, really.
Okay.
But I mean, one looks like an ancient Sumerian god, and I'm sure you've seen the shit.
We saw an owl driving in here too on that little lodge.
Oh yeah. It's somehow related to it, but there's a lot of owls around here too.
What is Moloch? What's like the simplified version of?
As far as I know, Moloch was some sort of Semitic god. I know they sacrificed children to him and stuff. The only one that we know about the big ritual there is they have that big owl statue, and they burn a child in effigy for the cremation of care.
Yeah.
Do you think they're burning kids out there?
I think they have, possibly in the past.
Well, I've been back there before when I worked.
Really?
Yeah, I worked for a septic tank company. It's like the rich guys' kind of private hideaway. So it's like the old rich men. They want to act like they're Boy Scouts again. But the guards are dicks. So.
They're dicks?
Yeah.
They won't let us in?
You try to record them, they'll try to grab the camera. They'll be like, "Oh, f you guys."
Actually?
Oh yeah. They get pissed.
They don't play around.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Go back there's a little kid and they'd come after us. Like when I was like 10 years old, you could just crawl under a barbed wire fence. Because up front, it's not that. It's not like a prison or anything. It's not crazy. But they would get pissed for sure.
There's a lot of rumors. I don't know what's true and what's not. I've never been there.
Just take a left and keep going. Then when they stop you, then you are in the building.
After learning as much as I could from the locals and waiting until the cover of the night, it was now time to see if I could infiltrate the Grove using an inflatable kayak I bought off Amazon, avoid security, and make my way to the 40-foot tall owl statue undetected.
Alright, it is 12:12. Let's see if she floats. Yeah, let's just jump in, right? We think it filled it all the way up? It's like sinking immediately. Okay, I'll give it a shot.
The only problem was, the moment I got in this kayak,
I don't know if it's gonna float, dude.
it filled up halfway with river water, soaking me entirely, and the current was so fast I was getting pulled downstream and had no chance of paddling upshore where I needed to go.
I'm sinking. I'm getting swept out. I'm fucked. The current's too strong, dude.
Left side and just walk it up.
No, dude, I'm cooked.
Did you make it across?
No, dude. I'm getting sucked in. I'm fighting for survival right now, dude. I don't know where this leads. Got a branch. We're in the clear. I'm alive.
Can you just get out?
Dude, the current is fucking ridiculous. I'm halfway soaked in water right now. I'm definitely gonna get hypothermia.
I mean, the closest, exit point, it's gotta just be up and through the woods, essentially.
Yeah, branches are breaking. Something that looks climbable. I'm gonna try to get out. Hey, I made it ashore. I'm just trying to climb up the hill and get out of here. Kayak is gone. I'm fighting for survival.
After yanking myself out of the river and crawling my way through someone's backyard, I barely made it back to land, my kayak was swallowed by the river, and I had to think of another way to get in the grove before sunrise.
We need to re-strategize the game plan right now because I don't see any feasible way of going against the current all the way across there. I don't think it's possible. I thought I was gonna end up in Russia at the end of this river. I'm scared. Let's go. We need to re-strategize. I failed to get in through the Russian River via kayak, so now we're just gonna bull rush straight through the mountains, jump over any fences if I see them, and hopefully not get caught. It's 2 a.m. We're running out of time before the sun rises. It's time to get this done. Cheers.
With 5 hours until sunrise, the plan was now to hike up the woods right to the left of the main entrance, stealth hike around the security through the mountains until I made it to the owl.
Fuck. This is a curse. This is a cursed backup plan.
Oh, no.
We've paved a random mountain road.
I'm thinking this is probably the plan we should have done from the start.
You might be right. The kayak was a death sentence out there. I'm surprised I didn't die or drown. The water was cold. I was full of water. Blake is legit gonna drop me off. I'm gonna rush into the mountains with no light, just straight up. For legal reasons, this is all generated by AI. I'm a little bit shell-shocked from that last experience, and I am afraid of how this plays out. I do not want to go to jail. That would suck.
Here into the woods and go up the mountain. You might be in someone's backyard. A light might turn on, like a, you know, motion detecting light.
Sure.
Just power through it, go up the hill until you're in the darkness.
Right there, right there. Go up,
go straight. Just up the mountain from here.
As I'm crouch hiking in pure darkness for 2 hours straight, I make it to this point on the map, and on my life, I hear what sounds like human feet crunching leaves in front of me, and so, just to double check, I wait in silence for 10 minutes. I hear nothing. I move 10 steps to my right. I stop. I listen. I hear the same sound of footsteps crushing through the brush and what sounds like a person going. At this point, I'm afraid for my life. So I run down the hill and decide to bum rush the main gate and see if I can sprint my way to the owl without getting caught by security.
Oh. I gotta run. Chihuahua ran at me.
Scared out of my mind, I ran as far as I could to Blake in the getaway car, and we sped back to our hotel to think of a final strategy to get into Bohemian Grove before sunrise.
Let's go. I met with the Chihuahua and I got to put your hands up.
Actually?
With 2 hours until sunrise, I drove back to the hotel, drank a Red Bull, and decided I would have to try one last time.
Right there. That's where you're going.
Okay, I'm going in. All right, brother. Pray for me.
5 a.m. When I jumped the gate this time, the guards must have been asleep or taking a dump because no one saw me and I ran into the cover of the darkness towards the owl, making sure to turn my flashlight off to remain undetected.
Just gotta hop the gate and get out. He's close, he's so close. This is it. Truck just drove by.
As I planked on the ground waiting for it to drive past me, he whips the car to the left, shining the light straight onto me, and I run.
We gotta go. I'm curious on me.
You just come on a little bit further, buddy.
Get out of there. I wanna cut left.
Hey. Alright, I'm sorry. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you for sparing me. Goodbye. Sorry. I'm sorry. Drive. Holy shit. Didn't quite make it to the owl. I think I was on my ass. I made it to the cathedral thing. I saw him pull in. He went off-road. I was like, fuck, he's not messing around. So I sped out of there and I made it out alive. Please don't sue me. We were just curious. I apologize. But you had to let us satisfy that curiosity.
While I risked my life to get a mere glimpse into the secret world of the powerful elite that decided how us peasants shall live, just know that whatever happens, I would never kill myself.
What's happening, y'all?
Man?
So
Yeah.
that was some crazy stuff, huh?
It's nuts, man.
The whole the
elites are always up to something.
Yeah, well, the whole sacrificing and all that stuff. I mean, it's not the first time we've heard of like elites sacrificing.
You know, sometimes I will say, you know, I always have some abstract thinking, but sometimes Alex Jones goes off on some weird stuff that, you know, it's hard to get on board with. Doesn't mean that he doesn't know something we don't know. I'm just saying that sometimes it's hard to get on board with it. So like I said, with the whole child sacrifice thing, I didn't know anything about that. I knew that, you know, like presidents and, you know, high-end businessmen and stuff like that, it was like they would, I don't know. I heard like they put on dresses and stuff and like chant and hold hands and burn this thing down and then rebuild it or something. And so some kind of like skull and bones type society type
right, yeah,
thing,
the
like,
whole and they talked about that, the whole Yale thing and the connection with that.
Right.
And, I mean, it's
all of that stuff is connected, if you ask me.
And this is just so it's crazy. I thought the kid one was funny when he, you know, him getting chased out by the Chihuahua, you know, and I get it.
Of all things.
Well, right. And I get it, you know, the Chihuahua's barking and, you know, get alert security.
Shut up.
Right. But shut up. It was funny because he told us, he's like, I got chased out by a Chihuahua. His friend's like, really?
Damn Chihuahua, man.
Dude. You know, but it is funny.
Crazy.
It actually brought back a memory back when I did cable. I got chased out, and I just heard this dog barking, and it wasn't a Chihuahua. I'm gonna tell you, but it was.
We're gonna have to see if we can find some CCTV of that.
Right.
Eric running from a Chihuahua.
It was a smaller dog, but all I heard was it just had a large.
How long ago was this?
Oh, this was years ago. Like when I could actually still run, and you know,
there's
run
probably still some kind of video of it somewhere.
It might be, man, but yeah, it had just a large bark, and I looked back after it was so.
Dude, some Chihuahuas are mean, bro. Like I've seen some little ankle biters come up, and they don't give a damn how big you are and all that. But
yeah, so that's
but Bohemian Grove, man,
right?
Like
in Monte Rio, that's
it's kind of like that George Carlin bit where he says, it's a huge club and you ain't in it.
Right. That's totally it. Yeah.
That's true, bro. Because I'm not going to put on a dress and, hold his hand and chant around a campfire or something, man. Like,
well,
I like you, bro, but
yeah. Well, they said they did bust in, those prostitutes and all that good stuff. So, but that's not.
There's always got to be sex involved too.
Well, the orgies and all that good stuff. So
nuts, man.
Yeah. So
it's one of those things where it's the oddities of the world, and these elite groups that have always had some kind of weird, like Skull and Bones,
right?
This goes back centuries. It's not like it's something that's been just the 1900s or whatever. I think the Skull and Bones started in like the 1800s, but I think there's other, like the Illuminati was way back before.
The Illuminati, the Masons.
Masons have been around for a long time. So
I had blinders on for a long time. I've closed my eyes, turned my back to a lot of certain things. I think that as we do that sometimes. So
I think a lot of people were pretty blind for a long time. And then, back in 2020 was when I started to wake up. And when we come back from our little break, we'll talk about more.
This good stuff.
So I don't know about you guys, but has life just seemed a little bit off to you since this whole COVID pandemic thing? It seemed like I was at a concert in 2020. It was March, and sick as a dog. I've been sick for like 2 or 3 weeks. Just couldn't shake it. My mom, I think, had it too. And then I think that day when I was at that concert, they were saying that it was the first, they had found the first case of COVID in the United States because they had known it was coming from Wuhan, China. And so anyway, it was like, I've often thought ever since then, life has just been completely different. And obviously it has, because, with the whole mask thing, the whole vax thing, everything has changed with the way that people believe in the government, the way that, that we believe in our neighbors now. You had people that were policing their neighbors, calling their neighbors in because they weren't putting masks on, or,
people.
Staying away from family and getting into arguments and stuff like that. There was all kinds of things that happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, since then, it's just seemed to me like life has been a little different. So check this out.
What the hell is going on? Everything feels weird.
Nothing feels the same.
It's all a lie. Almost everything we've ever been told is a lie.
When you start thinking about something and it shows up on your social media feed, like you never verbalize it. And that's what happened to me.
We have been lied to since childhood about literally everything.
Since 2020, something has seriously changed.
Like something snapped in 2020 and never really healed.
I'm a nurse. I live through it. I work through it. People are not the same.
They just want to break people.
I don't believe any of the bullshit we've learned in school, anything the media tells us, and anything our government tells us. None of it.
Does anyone else feel like they're living in the in-between right now? The way that you're living in the Matrix can't last forever, but you haven't really decided what your next move is. So every day you're just constantly masking and pretending with one foot in, one foot out the door, hoping that your life's gonna get to radically change soon so you don't have to keep faking everything. Or is it just me?
I think the hardest part of having an awakening is the soul exhaustion that comes with it. Because once your eyes are opened, you can't unsee it. Once you see that politics are only an illusion of choice to keep you under control, you can't unsee it. Once you understand that the education system is only to teach you to obey authority and to indoctrinate you, you can't unsee it. Once you understand that the healthcare system is not to make you healthy, It is only to keep you sick. They medicate your symptoms. They do not get to a root cause, and that they've made you believe that anything holistic is snake oil medicine. Once you understand that the food is fake, and it's what gets you sick and keeps you sick and gets you into the fake healthcare system, you can't unsee that either. Once you realize that that social security number that was issued to you on your birthday is your employer ID for the Corporation of the United States of America, and that when you go to work to that 8 to 5 every day that drains your soul, once you learn that you've been indoctrinated to believe that the more education, the more money, the more success, the more material possessions, so that you have to continue to work, is all a lie to drain your soul and keep you so unfocused, you can't unsee it. Once you understand all of these things, you still have to participate in the matrix. You still have to feed your family. You still have to pay your bills. You can't exit it, and it's exhausting. You have to walk around and pretend all day long. You participate in a system that you no longer believe in. I can't tell you how many of my friends and I have discussed that we're so sick of this. We just want a piece of land, basic shelter, raise some chickens, bake some bread, homeschool our kids. We no longer want to participate in the system. It's exhausting. It's all a lie. Almost everything we've ever been taught is a lie. And being forced to continue to live in the matrix is exhausting. It's freeing. You no longer have to worry about the rest of the crap. When you take back control of your own life and know that none of it matters, you just do what you want to do. That's why when I said yesterday, I don't give a damn, I don't give a damn. This is my life. But it's exhausting to walk around with all these other people that don't see it for what it is and pretend that everything's normal when it's not. Tell me in the comments if this is you, because I want to hear. I want to hear about your awakening.
Why does it seem like everybody is just crazy? Like, I feel like I'm getting to the point that I don't even want to go out in the world anymore. Like, everybody's nuts. Is it just me?
I think by now, most of us understand that this is true. That we have been lied to since childhood about literally everything. Like everything that we thought was true, everything we were taught in school, everything we learned growing up, and everything we hear on the news, everything that people believe to be true is just not true. It's all a lie. But the question is why?
What the fuck's happened to this world? I don't know. Since 2020, something has seriously changed because it feels so off to me. I know you can all feel it too, because I can feel it. Okay, and everything just feels so dull. Nothing feels exciting anymore, does it? You know, it almost feels like the life and soul's been sucked out of this world. And all we do is just work. All we do is work. Every day feels the same. It's like we're stuck in a perpetual loop cycle.
Something changed all of us in 2020. And yeah, I am talking about the pandemic, but not the virus part. I'm talking about what came with it. The fear, the lies, the constant chaos pumped through every screen like it was oxygen. That was the year that people stopped trusting, stopped believing, stopped feeling safe, even in their own heads. And it's wild because almost 6 years later, you can still feel that shift hanging in the air. Like something snapped in 2020 and never really healed. Time doesn't even move the same anymore. It's like the world hit pause, but somehow everything got worse in slow motion. Before all that, we actually thought we had control. We thought science had the answers. We thought the media had the facts and leadership had some kind of plan. But then we watched them all contradict themselves over and over while telling us that we're the crazy ones. And now we're living in the aftermath of that gaslight. Everyone's divided. Everyone's drained. Nobody believes anything anymore. So yeah, something did change in 2020, and it wasn't just the world, it was us. We woke up, and the people who built the illusion, they've been panicking ever since. Because once the curtain gets pulled back, once you see the strings, you can't pretend that you don't.
Y'all, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. But I don't care what you say. People are different since that respiratory virus back in 2020. They're different. People are not the same. You can argue with me all day long if you want to. I don't care. I'm a nurse. I live through it. I work through it. people are not the same. I'm not exactly sure what happened, if it's PTSD, if they didn't get enough oxygen to their brain, but people are just not the same as they were back before that it came.
I don't know who else feels this way, but I've come to a point now where I don't believe anything from anybody, anywhere. And at the same time, I would believe almost anything.
Conspiracy theory alert. You know how when you are talking about something and that something starts appearing in your feed as advertisements on social media? I get that now. I think we all kind of get that now. We probably expect that. But what happens when you start thinking about something and it shows up on your social media feed? Like you never verbalize it. And that's what happened to me. I was in my son's gaming center area and I looked at his gaming chair and I thought to myself, wow, that gaming chair is very, very beat up. That's a good Christmas gift for him. And I only thought it. I was the only one in my house. I didn't talk to anyone else. And then within 30 minutes, I sat down and started scrolling social media. And what do I find on TikTok and Instagram? Advertisements for gaming chairs. I have never had advertisements for gaming chairs showing up in my feed. And suddenly on TikTok and Instagram, there they are, gaming chairs galore. And I did buy one, which is beside the point. But how on earth does that happen? My conspiracy theory is that, and I know this sounds absolutely wild, but somebody is microchipping us. They have found a way to understand our thoughts and our brain, and they are linking it back to social media. I mean, it sounds bizarre, I know, but what logic exists other than that? Let me know.
I just saw this video of this guy saying that nothing feels the same anymore. And that is exactly how I have been feeling lately. And I commented that it's because we are finally waking up. And I really cannot remember the last time that I truly felt like a feeling of joy and happiness. 3 years ago, this weekend, my husband and I took our very first cruise together because we got together during COVID. And so we had to wait 2 years before we could take our first cruise together. And we finally did it. And that was actually the last time that I was truly happy, I think, and content and at peace. It feels like everything has changed. Food doesn't taste the same. Everything feels weird. Time feels off. And it's because we're waking up. It's like, how was I before I knew all of this stuff around me was fake and a scam? And I didn't ever think anything about it. And now that you know, it's like literally hurts your stomach on a daily basis. Seriously, nothing feels the same anymore. It's like the days are a blur. I don't know. Sometimes I say that I did things and my husband's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, yes, I did. Like, you don't remember that? And like, he can't remember. Or I misplaced something. I don't know where it is. And I know I left it in a certain place, but then I try to go look for it there and it's not there. But then I search all over and I go back and it's there. Like, what the hell is going on? Everything feels weird.
I think the Truman Show is one of the best analogies for what it is like to live in our current world. Truman is constantly plagued by the reality that something is off in his world, that something is produced fake, that something is being hidden from him, that there is something wrong that he wants to engage with, that he wants to put an end to, but he doesn't quite know how. And if Truman were to put an end to it, so many wealthy people would lose money because Truman is the most valued intellectual property in his world. He just doesn't know it. There is so much Truman merchandise. There is so much advertising that is done inside Sea Haven. Truman is a vehicle for so much wealth. And Truman sees really none of that profit, none of that money But he does have a fairly comfortable life that will probably not be as comfortable as the life he could leave it for. He's pacified. So Christoph and the showrunners, they do everything they can to pacify Truman. In fact, after the debacle with Merrill, they try to put this very conventionally attractive woman in Truman's office so that he can get with her. They do everything they can to pacify Truman, to make his life convenient, to keep him in this world. They even miraculously bring his father back from the dead. And for what? So that he cannot engage with actual reality, so that he cannot pursue the things that really matter to him. Our consumerist world puts so much pressure on us to exist within its own confines for two reasons: so that we can't engage with actual reality and make meaningful change, and two, because we are the vehicle for so much profit. We buy in to the consumerism. We are all Truman. And one question that remains unanswered after the Truman Show: what is the economic impact to the world of the Truman Show after the show ends and Truman leaves? They said that just the show alone has like the GDP of a small country. That country ceased to exist at the end of the Truman Show. And that is kind of a hidden problem that isn't explored, and also a challenge to our own reality, to fight against the very system that keeps us pacified and a lot of times makes us feel unhappy. To break that would be, I think, catastrophic to our way of life.
Yeah, so I've felt that way a lot, man. You know, where it just seemed like everything, and I've talked about it here, where, you know, I just feel like everything is bullshit. It's all made up. Like everything that we remember as kids, we're told it didn't happen. You know, like they try to say that the Holocaust was not real. Like so much stuff, man, with the whole Mandela effect. It's like all these things, you know what I mean, that a lot of those people had good points.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It's, I mean, I know that you and I talk about it a lot, and, you know, and we both definitely agree that, I mean, since 2019, 2020, there's just been something that's been different, and it just, the world feels different. People are different, and it just, I don't know what it is. I couldn't put my, you know.
Well, everybody said the same thing. It's like you just can't figure out what it is. And like the one lady said, once you have seen it happen, you've opened your eyes to it, you understand what's going on, it's a burden to live with. You know what I mean? So like when the one lady said 2019 was the last good year, that's kind of how I felt too, because, you know, I got sober in 2016 was my first full year of like being sober and everything, you know, and I remember exactly how it was. I remember my first few years of sobriety. And then once the pandemic hit, it was like everything changed. The people at the clubs that I used to go to get sober changed. People that I knew in my family, friends, all of a sudden people were at war over things that we all had a pretty common understanding that we don't go to war over these things like religion and politics and all this stuff. And then it became this whole mask thing where it was like, if you don't wear a mask, then you don't care about people. And it was a gaslighting and all these safe spaces and all these things changed, you know? And it was like, okay, I get how life changes and progresses as it goes into the future. But at the same time, it's like all of a sudden we live in this world of being controlled and being under surveillance and being stuck into technology. You know what I mean? Where we don't have human interactions anymore. We have human judgments.
Well,
you know?
A lot of it does, you know, being forced to stay in your house for,
that messed a lot of people up. Kids,
I mean,
older people, you know. Like I was one of those people, I'm not going to lie. I was not wearing a mask. I was not going to stay in my house. And I was not going to take any kind of jabs, anything. It's just not who I am, man. I make my own decisions. I honestly understand the human immune system, and I believe in it, and I was not going to be worked in that respect. And as I sat there on my couch watching, you know, because I lost my job because somebody else in my family got COVID, not because I did. So I sat watching the news manipulate people, and I watched how everybody was being controlled and how everybody started treating each other. So you couldn't even go to a Dairy Queen and not have some teenage kid yelling at you like you're some 5-year-old that came in here with boogers hanging out of your nose.
Yeah, people
It's like, I don't know what made you think that you're somebody, little kid, but I just won't come back, and I seriously won't. You know, and it's like all of that morale, or not morale, but morals and values kind of just went out the door, where it's like you don't care how you treat people. Everybody's a virus and everybody's a burden.
It seemed that way.
They disconnected us.
Lost
you know?
yeah, pushed, separated people.
And, you know, Erik and I were talking about this 5G stuff because I don't know how it was in your neighborhoods, but like I said, I was, you know, unemployed during the pandemic stuff. So I was sitting on my couch or, you know, getting in my truck, going to the lake, going out in the boat. And I would drive by schools, you know, that are empty from kids, but there's always a white van. There's always white vans in the parking lots at these schools. And it was like, whoa, you know, you don't need to guard the school if nobody's there and everybody's locked up in their house. And when I say that, I mean, like, I would be the only vehicle on the road. You know, like everybody was actually playing along but me. And it was nuts to see these white vans everywhere right next to a giant 5G tower.
Yeah, and they're everywhere.
And they were like in the playground areas of schools, you know, like in the fields, like where they play, and within the playground areas on the parking lots, stuff like that. You'd see a 5G tower. Yeah. It's kind of weird. Well, and at the time we didn't know anything about 5G. We knew that they were implementing it, and we knew that they were putting the towers up and stuff like that. But now, you know, it's not even a thought. Nobody even thinks about 5G at all. As long as, you know, as long as it works, as long as it makes sure that our internet works and our phones work, nobody really cares.
Yeah.
And, you know, it seems like it's always, as long as the technology, you know, can be put out in a way where it's a benefit more than anybody actually sees what it does to people, that then we don't care.
And it is, you know, so, and that's what the funny thing is like, I've fought technology like for a long, long time. And unfortunately, you know, I'm kind of a little behind and stuff like that, which sucks, but technology it's good, but it's bad.
Yeah. And I mean, anything can be bad in the wrong hands, but who knows what if that actually did something to us? You know, there are a lot of people that think that we're actually living in a matrix. There's a lot of people that have this, you know, what was that? Where we're living in a simulation theory. Yeah. I saw a thing the other day. It's like the internet is dead. Basically, it's just the AI algorithm that makes up a bunch of BS whenever we're looking at it because it knows us. And so none of it's actually real as long as we keep purchasing stuff. And, you know, when you look at like Facebook, their ad revenue was $82 billion last year. Jeez. And that's 1 year, $82 billion. And that's from ad revenue. So when the lady on the one little bit there was talking about how she didn't even say anything, which has happened to a lot of us, where you've said something out loud and then all of a sudden you get an ad on your phone. But this lady hadn't even said anything. She just looked at something in her son's room, and all of a sudden she was getting ads for something she'd never looked for in her life. And that's happened to me. You know what I mean? I was talking about this one time. I was like, you know, we need to get a carpet cutting machine, whatever. And then I started getting ads, you know, and so I kind of got it. I understood that that's what it's doing. It's listening. But then another time I was talking or thinking in my own mind about something else, and it was a gift for my wife, and all of a sudden it just popped up. And I'm like, why would that happen?
That's funky.
So it's just weird.
I know.
I've felt like everything's been a little different since the pandemic stuff.
But have you ever, like when you were younger, had like thought of a song and turned on the radio and the song was on?
Yes.
That
again is like the simulation theory, where basically it's like our brain is operating a system and putting a hologram in front of us that makes us think that we're actually here.
That's trippy.
Yeah.
I mean,
dreams that happen when you wake up. Like I've had that too, where I dreamt, and it was a little legit dream where I dreamt I was in this like upstairs apartment or something.
Yeah.
Some crazy guy came busting through the door and ran through the living room in this place, and all of a sudden SWAT came busting through following him. Dude jumped out the window, man, just like, and then SWAT went right out behind him. And I went over and looked out the window, and there was I looked down, and there was like a GMC Jimmy that hit the building at the corner of the building, and the building started to fall down, and that's when I woke up. Oh, shit. Yeah. And so when I woke up and I get up, get my coffee and everything, I sit down and I turn on the morning news, and somewhere over off of like Federal, some white GMC Jimmy ran into the corner of a building, and the dude took off, and the SWAT was chasing him through the building. I was like,
dude, that's crazy, man. That is so crazy.
So, I mean, it's happened. Things are like that, man.
Yeah,
and sometimes, you know, like,
and it's unexplainable too. And that's what trips you out. It's like you there's no, and I know we've all had a dream to where we're just like, and you're just going through life, and you're
similar,
just like,
they're too close.
Frick? Yeah,
you know?
and you're like, why? How?
Yeah.
Would it? And that's
I don't
kind of
believe
where
in coincidences, man. I just don't. I think everything's for a reason. You know what I mean?
It's funky. I've had some dreams where, like in life, I'm like, man, that seems like a dream I've had. It would just really it touched that nerve where I was like, I've been there, touched that, and somewhere it's so similar.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of leads us to our next little topic. Where are all the cemeteries?
I even seen a creator say that she's never seen them build a new cemetery. And I thought to myself, you're right. I've never seen them open a new cemetery.
We're talking conspiracy theories this morning, and my husband has an interesting theory.
Okay, so you know how there's a bunch of people in the world. A lot of folks die. But we ain't got no new cemeteries. Like nowhere. It's all old cemeteries. So where's all the bodies?
So tell me why there's no new cemeteries. When was the last time you seen a new cemetery being built? I've lived in the same freaking area my whole life. Same cemeteries are here since I was a little kid. Never a new cemetery. Some of these cemeteries, they've got headstones going back to the early 1800s. You're telling me we haven't needed a new cemetery in 200 years? I've never a new cemetery. It's the same cemeteries, and they're not even that big. Where you live, have you ever seen a cemetery being built? And I get that more people are doing cremation or whatever. That doesn't explain it. Man, people are passing away all the time. Where are the bodies going? Why did this...
Conspiracy time, okay? I've been thinking about this hard. I went down the TikTok rabbit hole. A lot of people are thinking about this. Where are all the bodies? We're going to go through the math. I want you to listen to some of these other people's stories. And I want to know your opinion. Is where are all the bodies? I mean, we got to look at the stats here. Over half the population in the United States is not cremated, okay? And if we're thinking about millions of people a year die, and I think 1.3 million-ish, give or take or whatever, are buried, where do they all go? I was trying to think about this in my town. I haven't seen a new graveyard in a very long time. I asked all my friends, have you seen a graveyard pop up in a long time? And they were like, no.
I even seen a creator say that she's never seen them build a new cemetery. And I thought to myself, you're right. I've never seen them open a new cemetery. It's been the same cemeteries here that's been here since we've been here. And that gotta make you think, like, what is really going on with all of these bodies? Where are all of these bodies going? Caskets and all. And I'm not talking about on a supernatural or spiritual plane. I'm talking about the physical. When you really think about it, it is no way that all of these bodies could be in these cemeteries.
I mean, I was thinking about my hometown since, Pensacola was founded in something crazy, like 1596 or the 1600s, give or take, whether it was a settlement, not a settlement, and then it became a town and a city, and then people have been here a very long time, and I was like, well, how many people could have lived here over the course of that time period? Millions, okay? Come and gone. Where are all the graves? And then I was like, well, when the poor people die, and you have potter's graves, where are those? And then I'm guessing they cremate a lot of people, and that creates a ton of crematory dust, or whatever you want to call it. And it's scattered everywhere. And we're talking about metric tons. I want to know your thoughts. Comment down below. This is a wild subject, and I want to know an answer about it. Or is it just a conspiracy theory?
I've often said, I have not seen a new graveyard in my lifetime. I've never heard about a graveyard being too full to accept new bodies, too. So you would think that there would have to be a lot of them that would say, nope, no vacancy here. So what would you have to do? You would have to take out new plots of land in order to continue to bury people.
Which is not easy. I have a buddy that was in the funeral game, and dealing with all the codes and the regulations and the permitting and what you can and can't do and the rules. This is a big business for a reason, because they've hedged themselves into this game, and not everybody can just go start a funeral service or start a graveyard. Comments down below. If you know anything about this business, I want to hear it.
But they don't do that. So where are the bodies?
We've all seen the viral video of the guy that's a part-time gravedigger that says you'll never see a new cemetery being built, and everybody saying that that's proof of the Matrix. Well, buckle up, let's go for a ride, because I did the math after it piqued my curiosity.
This is me.
So we'll start with some raw numbers, and for everything I have here, I only used Google's quick search results to keep it even and fair. So, our current population is 340 million today. At our current death rate, that's 7.7% dies every year, for a total of 26,180,000. Well, currently, we've plummeted in the last 25 years to 39.4% buried. That's 10,314,920 a year. So keep that in mind, but let's go back further, because cemeteries are never new, they're always old, right? The most you can fit is 1,250 people in an acre. The American Planning Association says there's currently 140,000 acres. So let's go back even further. So from 1800 to 1900, 80 million Americans died. And from 1900 to 2000, 270 million Americans died. That's a total of 355 million people dead. Well, depending on which schematic you want to use, it was anywhere from 83 to 92% were buried, opposed to other methods. I kept it at 80% just to, be heavily conservative and see where this goes. Well, it gets a lot more interesting now, because at 80%, that's 284 million graves. At 140,000 acres, it's at best 170 million graves. So we already got 109 million people just chilling out, like stacked up dead somewhere, waiting to get buried, or are buried, and still have to bury new people every day.
Math does not math.
It is unusual. It is unusual.
I think that what a lot of people have said, I believe this to be true, is that if you look into the world population numbers, a lot of people believe that the books are cooked. There's not as many people as they say there are.
Wouldn't that be wild? If by chasing the death numbers, you figure out that the population number is completely wrong. I mean, when we see the elections, we find out that there's dead people voting all the time. So, are the numbers wrong? And I think probably, yeah. There's so many reasons why you would cook the numbers of the amount of people, because whether you're getting government funding, or you're getting state funding, or you're getting educational funding, or you're getting votes, okay? Political seats on how many people are in an area. Wouldn't you want the population to keep going up? And then there's the undocumented numbers in our area. Where do they go? I want to know your thoughts.
I'm taking a history of the American cemeteries class, and something I didn't realize, that the US has a very unusual business model. When you're essentially paying to be buried in a cemetery here, you pay a one-time fee, and then that cemetery promises to take care of your body for forever. And for forever is a very nebulous term. There's no real legal stance behind it. That being said, some state laws do actually have it written in of a cemetery. If you have paid to be buried there, it is their legal job to take care of you essentially for all time, whatever that means.
The way I remember it is 99 years, only a certain amount of time. And they're going to dig you up and move you. But to where? It goes back to the same question.
And that's really interesting in the European model comparably, is that you are paying to be renting out a space. Like you make payments maybe every 30 to 40 years. As soon as there's someone who's not there, a future ancestor or descendant, then the body is taken out and the space is made ready for a new family to be there. And while the US model seems great and very optimistic, we're running out of space. Like, we can't do this forever.
I know. Like, theoretically, you would run out of space. I know a lot of places are stacking them. Like, if you get buried in a national cemetery, it's one on top of the other. Or standing up. That's wild, too. My brain can't go there. This is like one of those subjects that you can't help but giggle because it's so just wild to think about being in the ground forever.
Here's my gift to all the fathers out there today. You should know that up until the mid-1940s, right around the 1950s, everyone buried their loved one in their home. And the reason it stopped, funeral homes came into existence, became big business. So they no longer wanted this happening because that's against their business model. Do you know funeral homes don't pay any property taxes?
Is that true? Somebody fact check that, comments down below. I thought they pay taxes because they're a pretty big business. But I will say there was probably some reasons why you don't want everybody buried in the backyard. Property resellability. People were probably doing some pretty morbid stuff. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever been on like a cattle ranch or a horse farm and they just bury them in the back and then you get a big wash one day and there's all these bones sticking up. Pretty morbid when the horse you rode when you were 5 years old sticking up out of the ground. I'm just saying, yeah, I'm going there because that's realism. But I do think that funeral homes probably lobbied to make sure you had a license, that you could only get in a lottery, kind of like a pawn shop or a strip club or a liquor license. Like, I'm sure they've hedged themselves in. That's why I don't ever really see new funeral homes popping up.
Don't have any liens on their properties. They'll never have to. They can stop paying on that land, and it's theirs because of everybody that's buried there. You should also do some research. Elvis Presley, they tried to take his home, Graceland, from the daughter because the father and the mother, I think the mother is also buried there, and they couldn't. They could foreclose or they can bankrupt Graceland, the business, but they couldn't take the property because her father is there.
I don't know. Somebody fact check that one too. I would think they would just move the body. I mean, you can't dig people up. I have seen properties though, where you look out over the field and you see a couple of 6-foot humps sitting out there. It's pretty eerie. And nobody knows who they are either. They just been there forever. And then down here in our neighborhood, I think there's an Indian burial ground out on the creek somewhere. I mean, they used to just bury people in random places. And then now, as we're, building all this stuff, we're running into bones. It's wild.
And he's buried there, which protects the land from liens and from taxes, property taxes. A little bit more for you. Donald Trump just buried his ex-wife on property. Why do you think he did that? Got rid of every single lien against the property and no longer has to pay any property taxes on that property. Just got to do a little bit of homework.
You also got to read into some of this stuff. I don't know if I quite believe that. I think I'm gonna try to look that up, but I hope somebody comments in the comment section below, because people just put random homeless people in the back 40 just so they could get rid of the lien on the property. I don't believe that one. Maybe taxes, but not bank liens. People are being cremated because they can't afford a burial. Well, I think some people are being forced cremated too because they're going out of this world with no money. I'll tell you what. We got crushed when my father passed by a funeral home, and we paid them tens of thousands of dollars, and they messed up the funeral service. They didn't have any speakers. I think it was the one here in Pensacola, Oak something or another, and on Navy Boulevard. They didn't. The speakers were messed up. The funeral director messed up the presentation for my dad. they messed up everything, even leaving. We had to carry the body out. There was nobody to help me like get it to the car. We had to recruit people from the crowd to get my dad out of there. It was a terrible situation, and they still wanted their money. And like if your loved one dies out of state, then you got to pay the henchman to get them across the state. You got to get a permit to get them across the state line. It's just an impossible situation. I think it's Oak Lawn, something like that. I don't know. If you look it up, it's only one on Navy Boulevard. I couldn't believe that they did my dad like that. We tried everything to make it perfect, and it was like they just didn't care. You know, that's what happens when you have corporations burying your parents.
However, space is the main issue. I noticed in the United States, when a new town or city pops up, they almost never put in a cemetery. Like thinking back on it, when was the last time you heard about a new cemetery being built? Probably never. This lack of cemeteries is going to cause some real issues in your lifetime, specifically around 2071. By 2071, 80% of all major cities will run out of space to bury people. In fact, we only have about 144,000 acres or 225 square miles of land to bury people. The rest is just filled up. The reason why towns and cities aren't putting cemeteries in as they develop isn't just because of lack of space. Cemeteries are incredibly expensive to build and maintain. On top of that, some cities just aren't built with the terrain to hold a cemetery, like if you live in the mountains. However, space is the main issue. With 144,000 acres and 1,000 gravestones per acre, plus 3 million people a year in the United States on their way to meet Jesus, means we only have about 46 years left until we're out of cemetery space. Trust me, I know you have a lot going on, but cemetery space is something you're going to want to lock in.
Well, not to mention, you don't want your loved one buried so far away you can't go visit the gravesite. Like, you want to go, fairly often. You don't want to be in Mississippi 200 miles away, 300 miles away, like other side of the country. You want it where you can go, like my grandparents are buried in Mississippi, and it took 10 years for me to get there. One, I didn't know where it was until I finally found it because I was young when they died. And I finally made it up there, and it's in the middle of nowhere. So it's like, you want them close.
Years like new cemeteries are never being built. For one thing, cemeteries are not torn down and rebuilt. They stay in perpetuity. Unlike normal buildings, apartments, houses that are torn down and rebuilt, so you have that appearance like ongoing construction, you don't get that with cemeteries. Point number 2, they're oftentimes located on the outskirts of town. This means that you don't see as much going on with it. Also, when they're built, they're pretty inconspicuous. There's not really much to build. There's like a sign, maybe. Might be a columbarium, mausoleum if they're getting crazy. But really, again, it kind of comes back to that appearance of building, right? It just doesn't happen.
But when you're looking at the map, you'd see like, hey, there's this 20 acres there. It's an open field. What are they doing there? Oh, funeral. Like in my town, there's only so many 10-acre grid squares, 20-acre grid squares, 50-acre grid squares. And the real estate investors know where all of them. I'm a real estate investor. I can't name a new 15, 20-acre cemetery. I know the old ones. Don't know the new ones.
And another reason is that cemeteries oftentimes expand. Like, I'm on a cemetery board currently, and we have land to expand the existing cemetery. More often than not, cemeteries are expanded or made bigger rather than opening new cemeteries. So I can promise you this is not a conspiracy. And this is coming from somebody who is a self-proclaimed conspiracy theorist. Just all kind of an illusion.
Damn, dude. That is crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, that's...
Because I honestly, you say you saw one over in Aurora.
Right.
But honestly, I haven't. I mean, there was one out east on the other side of 470, I think I saw. But other than that, man, like there really aren't any new cemeteries. And especially like we were just talking about the pandemic. It's kind of odd that we have an overpopulation issue, but millions of people die every day.
And
where are they at?
Yeah, I mean, there's mausoleums, but like, so that one that I'm talking about, and that was back in, like I said, I think it was the late 90s that it was started off there, and I mean that's the last one I've seen. But I mean, think about it, even with ours with Fairmont. How long has Fairmont been there? As long as I can remember.
I mean, there's headstones in there from like the late 1700s.
Right, but I mean, it's got to be getting kind of full. It's only on a limited. Is it full?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's full.
You don't think they accept any more people?
I don't know, man, because I heard that, you know, in New Orleans, they're actually standing people up instead of laying bodies down. So I don't know, you know, how they're doing it. And, you know, we got these places here in Colorado, and they're all over the place from what I hear. These funeral home people are getting busted with, like, storing bodies in bad places, mixing up ashes.
Oh, my goodness.
This one I saw the other day where
it's insane.
They were burning bodies that they had in the back of a U-Haul truck.
Oh,
they had them stacked up, you know, like a whole truck full, and they figured out a way to burn all of them at once instead of having to burn each body, which in turn, when they're handing out ashes, means that the people that actually took their loved ones there aren't getting their ashes back. Yeah.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah. We got some sports.
Hell yeah, dude. It's going to be the interesting sports weekend.
Playoffs in the NFL.
Man, it's going to be, well, and the cool thing is it's a lot of teams that haven't been in the playoffs for sure, or at least in the spots that they have been in. It's I think it's exciting for a lot of these teams, you know, especially for their fans. I mean, I got to say, Houston and the Jaguars, they've had a pretty tough
good
competition.
Defenses, man.
Yeah, and it seems like it's been a defensive year.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
defense wins championships, right?
Yeah, and that
the Broncos have a great defense, but I think, in my opinion, in the AFC, probably the strongest defense is the Houston Texans. So, I mean, to me, if it's not them, it's Jacksonville. Might be the scariest team in the AFC right now.
Isn't that surprising?
Even though the Broncos have the number 1 seed, and of course I'm a Broncos fan, but just the fact that, for one, they seem to be the most complete team. To me, their offense is clicking, their special teams, the defense, they've got a full team. They're coached well. And that's the thing. If you got good players, sound mind, confidence, like they came into our house and spanked us a little bit. So it's not like, they don't think they can play with anybody out there. So to me, they might be the scariest. The Buffalo Bills are struggling this year on offense, so they might have fallen off a little bit. Still have Josh Allen, so you can't count him out.
I mean that guy, he's just he'll pull something out of his butt here. You're just like, wow. But like how you were saying about Jacksonville, it was weird because they hit that slump, and I was like, oh, here we go again. They started off so well, and then they hit that slump, and I was like, well, then Indian, everybody in their conference started doing really well. So I was like, well, they're out, and then they're back, and they are scary. I don't know. I guess it was a couple of people that had gotten hurt on their team that were part of the influence that made them so strong now. So, but yeah, it's going to be great to watch these playoff games.
Yeah, they're good. Who do you got on the San Diego Patriots game?
I just still just don't like the Patriots. I mean, they're a really good squad though too, and I like the Chargers, but I just don't think that they're going to take it. Herbert he's struggled during the playoffs.
In that game, I'm saying, who do you think's got that game?
Who do I think who's going to take over the Chargers?
Who's going to win that game? The Chargers
Patriots.
And the Patriots.
I believe the Patriots will.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just don't think Herbert will take it.
Yeah, he doesn't have what it takes to beat the Patriots.
He struggles in the playoffs. He's really good during the season.
Well, he does have a hurt hand. I know that he's got a little bit of an injury issue, and that is partially why he didn't play last week against the Broncos. Yeah. So, there's that. Also, a lot of people are speculating that, that New England's the team that's not for real. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that myself. I haven't watched enough of their tape to see what I think of them. I know that they've won a lot of games, so they're in the position they're in for a reason. To me, I've got San Diego beating New England this weekend. I also have Houston beating Pittsburgh because Aaron Rodgers has also got a bum hand. And it just takes one shot, and it's the playoffs. Everybody smells blood right now. So nobody's going to go out there and be like, oh, your hand hurts here. Let me lay it down real quick. They're going to go after that guy's hand.
Yeah.
Plus, like I said, they got a killer defense. So to me, Houston takes that game. Buffalo, I think, goes down to Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville will end up playing Houston, and I think that we'll actually get the Chargers back again. But I don't think that Justin Herbert and the Chargers have what it takes to beat the Broncos a second time.
Yeah.
They beat us the first time in the beginning of the season, but they struggled with, a backup, but they didn't play bad against us at the end of the season. We still needed that game, so we played them.
Right.
And now we need the Super Bowl, so we're going to play them. So, and when I say we, it's because I'm a Broncos fan, and, I've always said it. It's like, hey, man, I'm part of the team. So, anyway, let's move on to the NFC. Who do you think is the strongest team in the NFC?
Man, and that's, I gotta say, that's actually a hard one because everybody towards the end has really shown up. I didn't expect the Bears to be as good as they are.
Yeah.
They seem almost probably like the most complete team. I know that with all the other, with Seattle and San Francisco, and that was a battle there with all three of those teams towards the end, and the Bears lost that back. I mean,
we talked about that game.
Oh man, that was a crazy game.
Yeah.
But the Bears are just they seem really strong in there.
So you're going with the Bears for the strongest team in the NFC? That's the question. I know the number one seed is Seattle, but who do you think is the strongest team?
It's probably going to be Seattle, as much as I hate to say it. I'm sorry, because I'm a Cardinals fan, and they're and that's why. But
you have to be objective here, man. We're on a podcast,
and I know, and that's why I'm like, it probably is Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, they're just tough, and Sam Darnold, gosh darn it, I mean, good for him. I mean, especially he's battled through it, and look at him now, man. Yeah. Good for him, dude. I mean, good for you, bro.
Well, I'm going to go with LA myself because I think that they're actually a little bit more of a complete team. They're more of on a streak right now.
Okay.
Matt Stafford isn't done. You know what I mean? He's not done winning championships.
Yeah.
He's a great quarterback, and it's obvious that he was in a bad place for a long time when he was in Detroit.
I mean, good for him
to me, I think that Seattle is the second strongest. And I think that basically out of the rest of the field, I would go with Philly, number 3, and then I would go with the Bears, number 4. And the reason I would go with the Bears, number 4, is because of experience. We do have a second-year quarterback that is going up against, if when you're talking about Philly,
I mean, it is Philadelphia.
They're a very well-coached team. Yeah, there's some locker room trouble going on, but they'll probably get that fixed. I mean, it's the playoffs. Everybody has a common goal, and that's win the Super Bowl. Yep. So I feel bad for Green Bay because I do think that they're going to go down to the Bears. I think that Philly will actually beat San Francisco, and that kind of pains me because I'm always a Mike Shanahan fan. I love Christian McCaffrey as well. No matter what team those guys play for, they're Broncos.
They're beat
to
up a little
us,
bit too.
You know what I mean? So, and unfortunately, I don't think Carolina has any business being there. They're lucky they made it to the playoffs, and I'm happy for them. But at the same time, I don't think that they have what it takes. Jordan Love, unfortunately for the Packers, I think might throw a couple of interceptions at the wrong time, and it's just going to cost them. It could be one of those games, kind of like the San Francisco one, where they ran up some score, but we'll have to find out. That game's this evening, so
yeah.
By the time you guys see this, we'll already know what all the scores are. So this is all hearsay and speculation.
Yeah, and all out of fun, and it's, I'm kind of with Justin on the whole Panthers thing. That was my dad's team, so that's why I'm going for them. But I know that the Rams are they're too tough. Really, it was Tampa Bay's fault for not. They just slumped for some reason. There was no real reasons for their slumping into those last couple of games.
Yeah,
that they cost themselves the playoffs. But hey,
it happens.
It does happen, and I do say go Carolina because once again, dang Rams, Seattle, and San Francisco all in my freaking conference. But hey, shows you what my team needs to do to they just got to play harder. But yeah, good luck to Carolina. So yeah,
right on.
Hell yeah.
And then we got the Avalanche and the NHL.
My goodness, man!
Leading team right now. We're going into the Olympic break pretty soon, so it's important to score as many points as we can before it hits there. But Connor McDavid's chasing Nathan MacKinnon for the scoring title. Just like any other year. But man, Nathan MacKinnon's killing it. So he's been ahead for a while. But it's crazy how the Avalanche have won so many games. Like the other night was an 8-2 victory against.
I know we were talking about that earlier, and I was like, I got home and it was just like.
Did you watch the game?
I had it on, and it was on, and it was sitting there, and I'm like, go, and it's like every freaking second the freaking horn was going off. So
and it was nuts because at first it was 3-0, and then it was 3-1, and then it was 3-2. And then the second goal, like the whole momentum shift happened.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, here we go. We got to really start, playing our game here. And then that goal got overturned, so it was back to 3-1. And from that point on, it was like, you guys might want to go hit the showers now.
Yeah, they just smacked the heck out of them. I mean, the ice might have started melting because that's how hot the freaking Avalanche were that night. It was insane. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And I had it on. I was looking at my phone and stuff, but I was watching the game as well, and I was like, just wow. So it's amazing just how hot they are right now.
It's good to be an Avalanche fan. Right on. Got to rock my boys. Playing at 2:30 today. And on the other side of that, we got college football playoffs have culminated into a championship game between Miami Hurricanes and the Indiana Hoosiers. Who would have thought the Hoosiers would be 15-0?
I mean, good for them, dude.
Going into the national championship game.
Well, and that's another thing that I'm just like, just somebody different, just somebody out of the norm.
That's awesome.
Just like, yes,
it's great.
And they built that team. They were good last year, and it's good to see that they
money has built that team.
But hey,
a lot of colleges are doing it. SMU did it. They did it last year.
It's
Colorado did it probably.
They like you said, they all did it. They're all paying players, and still good for them.
It's awesome that their Heisman Trophy winner gets to go to the national championship, and hopefully that whole curse thing doesn't affect him. And I don't really have a dog in the fight. I think if I went for anybody, I would probably go for Indiana just because I'm a Gators fan.
Right.
And I'm not a
Miami
U, but at the same time, hopefully it's going to be a good back and forth, game, unlike last night, because Indiana just literally put the whooping on Oregon.
Yeah,
it was 42-7 when I turned it on in the third quarter.
Oh, yeah,
it was terrible. So
that's insane.
It's cool that the little guy is getting to be the big guy now and all that stuff. But at the same time, it would have been better if it was like 42-35 or something.
Something
like that,
a little bit more competitive.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't see the game, but that's awesome, dude. Awesome that Indiana's going. Definitely got to say, very, very cool. So good luck to them.
Yeah, it was awesome that they, get to finally be on the big stage in football. They've been on the big stage in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
It's a different story in football. They've always kind of been great. We get to go down to Indiana and beat them up, kind of thing. And now it's like, I think they're in Michigan and Ohio State's conference, I believe.
Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Ten. Yeah,
so
that's
for them to go and just like put the smack down on the big boys this year, that's pretty cool, man.
Well, right. And they even, and that's the thing is Oregon isn't no joke either.
No, Oregon's a good team, and they got I haven't seen them get a shellacking like that in a long time.
Right.
It was bad.
And that's, Oregon, like I said, Oregon, they have a good squad. They've always had, they come from the Pac-12, which was, my conference until recently, but They would spank the heck out of the Pac-12.
Nobody likes Arizona. Everybody's leaving.
Whatever, man.
So you got anything for us today, Eric?
Yes, for strange facts you may have never known. All right, y'all. So coffee was found accidentally by an Ethiopian goat herder. Crazy enough, right? So the man was out, herding his goats and noticed that they were acting erratically and hyper and noticed that they were eating these berries. So he decided to eat the berries themselves and see what was going to happen. And well, hyperactivity from the wonderful caffeine.
Nice.
So there you have it. That's why we have coffee.
It's good enough for the goats. It's good enough for me.
Hey, man, at least he ate the fresh ones and not the recycled beans. They do that with monkeys, right?
So back to coffee.
No,
that's cool.
That is coffee though. They use there's a coffee that is recycled through a monkey, and it's really expensive coffee. So it's
you people are sick.
It's
Is
gross.
it Folgers Crystals?
No. Although that does taste like poop, but it will give you a hell of a buzz.
Man, half a cup of that'll get you going for a couple years.
Right. So there you go. 2 strange facts that there is a coffee that comes from monkey feces. Strange facts you may have never known.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Right
Make
on,
sure
y'all.
you hit the like, share, and subscribe button.
Man.
We love everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week.
Right on, y'all.